Okay, we're ready to glue the front of the guitar body together. For all my glue ups, I use Tight Bond glue. It's the best wood glue that I've found. Tight Bond comes in 3 different types. This one is Tight Bond 3. It's got a little bit longer working time than Tight Bond 1 or 2. It has a little bit stronger bond, and it's waterproof. Now, I don't expect anybody's going to be playing guitar underwater, but, what difference does that make anyway? Don't need quite that much. I always like to get plenty of glue. I don't mind squeeze out. That's easy to trim up afterwards, but I'd rather have a little extra glue and squeezing out than end up not having enough. And after the glue is set, I open up my package and find out my guitar isn't glued together very well. So plenty of glue, get a little squeeze out, good. Okay, I use these aluminum bars, a nice big one right in the middle. That helps to keep the 2 halves at the same level. So if I just clamp it together, one could lift up one joint and really mess up the whole project. So I'll put those on. They have a saying in woodworking, you can never have too many clamps. This is somebody over looking at my guitars a few days ago and looking at my shop and looked at my clamp rack here and was amazed at how many clamps I have. And yet at the same time, I think, yeah, I wish I had more clamps. Yeah, it sucks being short. It's short arms, short fingers. That's the worst part. Hard to play guitar with short fingers. About 20,000 pounds per square inch is enough. I see a lot of videos on YouTube where woodworkers and especially guitar builders will talk about clamping. Oh, you don't need much pressure, just get it tight. Yeah, that's pretty subjective, just get it tight. You don't get it tight enough to squeeze out all the excess glue in the joint, and then when you're all finished, you see a little black line there where the glue is too thick. So yeah, you don't need a lot of pressure, just enough. Probably need a good 1 to 2,000 pounds pressure. Let's see. One more over here should do it. Okay, so we want that to stay clamped up. Some people say you need an hour. Some people say 12 hours. I've seen a lot of tests done on the strengthness of the glue after clamping. It seems like these people that leave their things clamped up for an hour are going to have problems. The facts seem to show that you need a minimum of 3 to 4 hours of clamping pressure for the glue to set up and to stabilize. I have no need to unclamp it in 4 hours. I don't have a problem with letting it go overnight, 12 hours. You can clamp it too short, but you can't clamp it too long. So there you have it so far. We're getting ready to do the chambering. I'm getting these templates on the chambering templates. we'll go over to where I do all my routing. We're going to go ahead and get these chambers routed out in here. The router is going to make so much noise I probably won't be able to talk over it. So we'll just watch what I'm going to do. We have to do this in stages. We can't just route the entire depth out in one stage. The maximum amount of wood that you should route out at one pass is probably about 1/8 of an inch. So I have to start with a short router bit to get started. And then through the process, I actually have to change to a longer router bit as I get deeper. So I've just put in a new bit. I have to go over the entire inside of the guitar 3 times, make 3 passes to get it. I just can't chunk it all out in one pass. We chambered out the front of the guitar. Off camera, I did the majority of chambering on the back. We don't want to get too boring and film all of that. I just have a little bit more to do to get it down where I want it. Oh no! Oh, it went all the way through. Oh no! Well, in woodworking, mistakes happen. You just have to deal with it and learn how to fix the mistakes. That's part of it. That's kind of a big hole I put in it. So now we just have to figure out what we'll do about that. Okay, I've got an idea. I was just kidding. This is going to be the access to the control cavity. We've got all the chambering completed in the front and the back of the guitar, and you can see what it looks like from the inside out. A little bit of stripe down the center just to add a little bit of stability. I don't want to go completely hollow. You can see this is the control cavity access. This is where the volume and tone and switch are going to go. You can see it laid out on the front, the holes for the controls. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick. Because that is so thin, we're going to take it over the workbench and I'm going to coat everything with a very thin CA glue. When that dries, it makes that really hard to keep it from breaking through, to give it a little bit more support because it's so thin. So we're going to do that now, and then I'll show you how we do the copper shielding in the control cavity to shield out all of the hum that can come from fluorescent lights. CA glue, commonly called super glue, is a great substance. It cures very hard. It actually soaks into the fibers a little ways, and when it cures, it makes it a lot stronger than the wood was initially. When I'm doing such a large area, the fumes can be very damaging to the lungs and to the eyes. And so I'm going to be wearing a full face shield when I do this. It's super thin. I'll be using that because it soaks into the wood fibers a lot deeper than the kind of super glues that you can buy over the counter. This is a CA glue activator. If it put too much on, it cures the CA glue so fast that it gets hot and bubbles up. That's what these little white spots are. That doesn't affect the strength of the super glue underneath it. It just initiates the setup. And you can see it's already hard, at least on the surface. I want to let that cure for about 24 hours before I start putting the copper shielding tape in this half. Now the front of the guitar, I put on super glue already. I cured it. So we're going to go ahead and do the copper shielding. I just need it where the electronic components are in the control cavity. This area is the area that we need to get covered. After the two halves of the guitar are glued together, and I've got access through the back of the guitar through that control cavity cutout, I'll also tape around all the seams here so it makes a solid copper cage around all the electronics. Copper shielding, I get it in various different widths. It's self-adhesive. It prevents any extraneous electric waves getting into the control cavity that cause hum. To measure this tape very precisely, yeah. You don't want it to get in the joint here where the two halves of the guitar are going to be glued together. We'll just hold in one spot of the tape and another, and you can see it's continuous. So we know we did a good job.